What's going on, everybody? So there's always excitement leading up to Can Jam. And Can Jam SoCal, we had heard there's shows over in Asia, right? And they have sneak peeks and demos and prototypes, and it kind of gives you the idea of what is going to be announced in and around Can Jam SoCal. Or they've already been announced and you just have to wait to be able to get your hands on them. And so going into SoCal, there were a few of them that I was like really super excited to hear because I hadn't heard them before. Things like Hex and then 752. That review video will be up soon, I promise. There's an embargo on that video, but it'll be up soon. Those were the ones that I was really excited about, but there was another one, and I'm not gonna lie, because I'm kind of a huge fan of this brand. I own one of their IEMs, and it's my favorite IEM. So when I heard that they're going to have a new flagship, I was super, super, super excited. And that was pretty much my number one to listen to. Well, Can Jam rolled in, and I actually got to listen to it. And Can Jam was kind of a hard time for me this year, just because family came along, vacation, whole bunch of stuff, and I was really, really tired. Well, thank goodness that Music Tech was amazing and allowed me to bring them home. And you're also going to get better listening experience when you're at home on your own chain, sitting in your favorite chair or wherever, and listening to something. So without further ado, I am luckily about to do a review on the IEM that was my most anticipated for SoCal, and it is the Aroma Audio Core. Alright, so this is the Aroma Audio Core. Now this is a prototype. I have a feeling that this might change, which is the inline amplifier that's built into the cable. It retails for $7,500. It's got 6 ESDs, 6 balanced armatures, and 2 DDs. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the core. You've got this metal faceplate with the core design, and it says core on it. And then you've got the Aroma logo on this one. We've got a little bit of see-through here with the blue tint on the insides. And I'm wondering if, just like every other Aroma, kind of like Fei Wan and Jewel, if you'll be able to do customs that'll allow the change of the looks. Not sure yet, because this product isn't even out. Then you've got a cable. It's a nice cable, an Aroma cable. And then, like I said before, attached is the inline amp. You can charge it here through USB-C. You turn it on by pressing this button, and the light will come on. And you are powered. And again, this is an inline amp, and since this is a prototype, I have a feeling that the design might change, so nothing's set in stone yet on these. But yes, that's a closer look at the Aroma Audio Core. Alright, so the Aroma Audio Core. Just going to focus on the IEM, because again, this is a prototype and things might change. The IEM itself, I would say, is medium to largish, very light, very comfortable. Haven't had any issues as far as being able to wear them for a long length of time, and they're comfortable, so no issues with that. The cable seems pretty nice, but for what it costs and everything, I think they did a good job. Hopefully they will have customs like they do with the Fei Wan and the Jewel, which would be really nice. But a very understated look, but it looks good. Okay, so how does the Aroma Audio Core sound? And this is a fun one. This is an interesting one. Because like I said, Fei Wan being my favorite IEM, I'm very in tune with how Aroma does their IEMs. And other thing, Awesome Ace Screaming, a great friend of the channel, let me listen to Jewel for quite some time, and I have a review of Jewel too. So I have always been a huge fan of Aroma and how they tune things. And I have to say that if it would be between Jewel and Fei Wan for me, it would definitely be Fei Wan. Jewel is an excellent, it's one of those neutral but natural sounding sets where you can throw a whole bunch of stuff at it and it just sounds beautiful, natural, nothing sticks out. It's just a great listen. For me, I'm more of a Fei Wan guy where I love that elevated bass, the warmth and the analog sound that it has, excuse me, and more texture and presence of the treble. You know, more W shape than a neutral shape. So I was so excited because I've always thought in my head, weirdly, that what would be cool is if you could, what would it be like if you could merge those two together, like the best traits of the two? And after spending a couple weeks with Core, that's not exactly what we got, I feel. So let me put it this way, and then I'll explain what it sounds like. If you are a Jewel lover, and you like Jewel better than Fei Wan, then I think Core is going to touch your soul more than if you're a Fei Wan lover and you pick Fei Wan over Jewel. Because I feel like it's not kind of like a middle that Core reaches, but it's a very nice evolution of Jewel. So if Jewel was a little bit boring to you, or you wanted a little bit more bass or sub bass, or you wanted a little bit more warmth in the mids, there you go. That's Core. And Core is more revealing than Jewel, but I also feel Fei Wan was that way as well. So let's talk about Core. So Core has very similar bass when it comes to, because one of the things I love about Fei Wan is I think the texture, the dynamics, the resolution of the bass, some of the best bass you'll ever hear, especially when it comes to instruments and things like that, or the real sounding, the percussive sounding of drums and things like that. It's just an excellent bass inside Fei Wan. And Core has that bass. It's very, very good. Might not hit and rumble as much as Fei Wan does, but it's there. It's more prominent than it would be in Jewel. When it comes to the mids, I feel like the mids are warmer mids that are very, very good. Not as warm as Fei Wan, but a good even ground between the two. And when it comes to the mids, the thing that I've always loved about Fei Wan is that the stage is just expansive all around me, instruments coming from everywhere, in the proper locations, air between the instruments, amazing separation. And Core has that too in spades. Like it has this wonderful presentation where you've got height to the stage, you've got width to the stage, you've got depth. Positioning sounds just brilliant. Like it's just such great sounding mids. Voices, male and female, sound very, very good. Instruments, timbre is spot on. Like it's just, these are great, great mids. Now, here's the other thing that I noticed too. So for example, let's just use a singer. Where Fei Wan is the singer's gonna be close to you. It's much like, Core is much like Jewel, where if the singer's here on Fei Wan, then on Core, the singer's gonna sit further back, very much like Jewel does. And that's one of the other things too that you'll notice if you're being Fei Wan and Core. Core's treble is more similar to Jewel's than it is Fei Wan's, where Fei Wan's is kind of in your face and kind of more texture and just more brilliant in a sense. Core rather takes the ethereal, balanced treble side. It's not bright at all, being treble sensitive. I never had an issue with Fei Wan, nor have I had an issue with Jewel. So Core fits beautifully in there where there's great extension and all those things. Cymbals sound brilliant. They sound natural. They sound nice. So Core in itself is just this great sounding IEM. It's very, very good. It is very much an upgrade to Jewel in a sense when it comes to resolution and dynamics and things like that. Now, again, it comes back to one of those things where if you're, like I said, a Jewel lover, then I think you're really going to dig Core. And if you're a Fei Wan lover, Core might not give you, like I am, Core might not give you those things. But, and this is kind of crazy, but if you could do Core and Fei Wan, you could ride off into the sunset. That'd be just the combination that you need. You could ride off to the sunset. Everything would be Gucci. But no, Core is just a really, really great IEM. Some people are going to disparage it because it has the inline, the little box that's on the cable, and it's an inline amp, and it just allows for it to be completely powered properly. And when doing so, it's, again, $7,700, very, very expensive, but does it compete with all the other, what people call Summit Fi IEMs? And it does very nice. So it was fun being able to spend some time. Again, thank you to Music Tech for allowing me to hear the Aroma Audio Core, because again, I'm a big fan of their tuning. And it was nice having hype and not being disappointed. So, is Aroma Audio Core a buy? If you're looking for a very good set that is great at playing multiple genres, presenting them beautifully, space, air, all these things, that competes with all the other Summit Fi IEMs when it comes to text and all that other stuff, then it's definitely something that you should check out. Again, these prices, they are what they are, but people are still buying them. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.